Welcome to We Don't Have Cookies with your host, Jason Marshall.
What's up, guys? Welcome to We Don't Have Cookies. This is something we were going to talk about on the show. It's probably going to be really quick. It might be 2 minutes. I don't know. But we decided to start recording because I got a creeper alert. I got a notification yesterday. Somebody liked a tweet that I made, and I didn't remember making the tweet. And it was me saying something about somebody being banned. I don't know. I was admonishing somebody.
Yeah.
And I look, and it was me jokingly replying to the Comedy Snobs when they did a podcast about my podcast on their podcast.
Oh.
And I looked at it, I'm like, this is from August 17th or something, 2015.
Yeah.
And this chick liked it.
Mm.
I just thought that was weird that, how did that ever come up? And I don't follow that girl, and that girl doesn't follow me.
Yeah. That is kind of weird. Just scrolling back through everything you've ever posted.
I guess.
I just need more Jason.
Which probably wouldn't take long. And I thought that was really weird.
My daughter gets mad because people will go through our pictures on Facebook and like a picture of her. And then, of course, it pops up on everybody's wall again because somebody's, brought it up. And she's like, I hate that picture. Why would they do that?
That's something I wanted to bring up on the show, and maybe I did, and it's just been a very, very long time ago. But I wanted to start a thing called Like It All Tuesday, where everybody that listens to the show just picks somebody, and you go through and you like every single thing they've ever posted from the time they started Facebook till whenever they block you to make you quit.
I can pretty much track how often my mother-in-law checks her Facebook. Because she'll go through and everything that I've posted since the last time that she checked her Facebook. But for me, I'll post pictures, and a lot of times, at homecoming, I posted 30 pictures because they weren't just for me, but for the other parents, because we took a bunch of pictures of the kids all together.
And you just tag everybody.
Yeah. So just, I don't need you to go through and each individual picture.
Just
you get on Facebook and it's you have 30 new likes and you're like, what the fuck? But don't like each individual, just like the group, I'll just assume that you looked at all the pictures, you don't need to like every single thing that I post.
What's weird is if you post 30 of them, and they like the group itself, and then they like 2 or 3 out of the 15.
Yeah.
I like what you did here.
The rest of them are total shit.
These two are really good. Took time out of my day to make sure you know.
Yeah.
And I could have took time out of the day to like the others while I scrolled by them.
Yeah, but man.
I just didn't feel like touching my finger to the screen.
Or I just like these. Fuck the rest of them. It's just people. I'm always amazed by the people who don't understand how Facebook works. I get it. You liked it.
Yeah. There's so much wrong with Facebook.
I get so aggravated with people, and they're reposting all this. Facebook's going to start charging, or all your stuff's going to go public. And if you don't want your stuff to go public, I'm like, first of all, you think Facebook's checking the statuses of their millions, I don't know, maybe billions of users to see if they've posted that they don't give permission? Oh, I was going to post this picture of Kate, but she didn't give her permission, so fuck all that. No, they don't care. And 2, if you don't want your shit public, don't put it on Facebook. Don't put it on any social media platform. There's just certain things I don't talk about. I don't vent personal vendettas with people. I don't, talk about anything personal, with my family that, they may be upset about. There's just standard basic rules. If I post something, it's just to be entertaining, just common knowledge kind of shit that nobody cares about. Do I really think people are that fascinated by the picture of your fucking dinner? Nobody cares.
Thing that gets me is most of these people are way too old to fall for that.
I know.
If you're 12, I can see because you haven't seen this
12-year-olds are way too smart. It's the middle-aged people that are like, I don't know how this Facebook works, but oh my God.
It happens, every 4 months?
Yeah.
It's not some annual thing just in case. Like, well, it worked last year. It's kind of like a flu shot.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if it works, but I didn't get sick last year. So
yeah.
do it again. It happens all the fucking time, man.
The people are so narcissistic that they believe that the rest of the world gives a shit about their pictures,
And I think it's strange that you can't just delete your account. You can only deactivate it.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of odd too. It's very presumptuous. Like, we're not going to delete it because you'll be back. You're a drama.
Yeah, exactly. You're an attention whore. Yeah, or if you try to delete a page and they decide that, no, it's a community page now. And you're like, well, I don't know who the fuck's going to keep it up because I'm done with it. You're just going to keep this page, that nobody's maintaining. But okay.
I did think about deleting my Facebook account because I'm at my house and I get a message. And it was from somebody who's a friend of the family, but we don't talk a lot. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, well, it must be important because she never messages me really, unless it's, to tell my dad happy birthday or something like that. So I open it and it's like, I am so sorry to hear about your grandma. She was a great woman. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm learning about the death of my grandmother
Facebook
through
from
a friend of the family on Facebook. Fuck this. I almost got rid of it. This has gone too far. I should at least get a phone call.
Yeah, exactly.
It was very strange. I didn't even know how to take it.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff is weird.
There were always two Katie Cusses for me growing up. She's a distant relative. Like, we're related, but we're not, close. I've never met her. But when her grandma died, I was getting calls telling me that they're sorry. So I had to be like, well, thanks, but, it's not my grandma. And then after a while, I'm just like, oh, thank you. I'm tired of playing fine, whatever. Yeah, I'm that Katie Cuss.
Back in my drinking days, somebody in my town died that had my name. Mm-hmm. I was up late drinking, and apparently some lady was up late drinking and decided she was going to call that person just to make sure they were alive. Apparently they weren't very good friends because she called my number out of the phone book. Yeah. And she was, just saying, hey, I heard this happen and all that. And I said, well, clearly you have the wrong number. And we ended up talking for about an hour. And
now you're married today.
It was weird, though. We had some weird drunken vibe where it was like, yeah, I'm sorry to hear about your friend. And we talked for a long time and then never spoke again. Yeah. I had a lot of weird drunken call type stories where I just broke up with my ex, 3 weeks to a month before. And I was really drunk. It was on a Sunday. And what I would do is I'd be out all night drinking. Mm-hmm. And then Sunday morning, I would wake up early. I would get really drunk and then pass out around noon. And then about 3 or 4 hours, I'd wake up and I'd just start. I was a lush, man. It was bad. But I started drinking. I decided I want to call my friend Tom. And the first 3 numbers of his phone number were that was the only person I knew that had those first 3 numbers, or at least so I thought. And I called the girl that I just broke up with a few weeks before that. And she answers the phone, and I'm so drunk. I have no idea it's her. And I'm like, is Tom there? And she's like, Jason? And I'm like, yeah. Is Tom there?
What are you doing with Tom, you skanky bitch?
I had no idea it was her. She was like, Jason, this is Laura. Oh, well,
is Tom there?
No, here's the worst part. I was like, well, happy Mother's Day. She was like, okay, bye.
Was she a mother?
Yeah.
Was it Mother's Day?
Yeah.
Okay. Because that would be
part.
even worse if she's like, I don't have any kids and it's February.
I always felt shitty about that.
But you know she hung up the phone like, man, I'm so glad he's not my problem anymore.
She was the worst girlfriend I ever had. She really was.
She's listening.
She was like my dream girl in high school, and then I got with her, and it was a nightmare. What?
Isn't that? Yeah.
I fell asleep while we were having sex once. I remember she woke me up, and she was so mad. She was
Did you fall asleep or did you pass out? Because there's a difference. We have already established you were in your drinking days,
true.
so...
She was like, "Are you sleeping?" And
No.
I said, "No, it just feels so good." It felt so good. I thought I would lay here lifeless and snore.
And enjoy you grinding upon me. Command switch.
Please don't stop.
No, baby, I'm totally into it.
I'm almost there.
As in conscious.
I want you to ride me till I snore, baby. Ride me till I snore.
You guys must have had a great sex life. That sounds pretty awesome. I mean, who doesn't want sex that you can fall asleep in? You know, it's like all the best movies. You know, well, it's a great movie. I made it 10 minutes and fell asleep.
One of my best friends at the time, he was jealous because he always liked her too. And he was like, "Man, you're so lucky." I'm like, "No."
Not really. No.
You know, I was thinking the same thing about you. Oh my God. I almost forgot about her. It was the worst.
I almost forgot about her.
Oh shit. Well, that lasted longer than 2 minutes.
That's what she said.
And I didn't fall asleep.
That's how she knew you were asleep. She's like, "We've been doing this at least 3 minutes. What is going on?" You have doubled your stamina, son.
Oh my God. I'm not going to say any names, but the person I was telling you about on the break, he posted something about how he had sex with 3 different girls in a row for, I think cumulatively, it was about 500 hours.
So for like 30 days, like a solid month, you were just straight banging 3 different girls.
Nonstop. We had a nurse hook up an IV drip so I wouldn't get dehydrated. I had a feeding tube, and we just went at it like dogs.
Did I tell you the story about my son when he found out that sperm banks existed?
Oh, I just want to go back to this
Okay,
real
sorry.
quick because I don't want people thinking, well, he probably just had a typo. No, he actually went in depth with how many hours for each one. And then at the end, he added it all up to make sure you knew it was hundreds of hours.
Clearly done with all of those girls or not Facebook friends with them, because no girl's going to be like, "Hell yeah, we did, and it was good." How come Sandra got more hours than I did?
Oh my God. I said I wouldn't talk about him just in case he listened.
Yeah.
But I think he'll know.
Yeah, but nobody else knows. I mean, we're not throwing out any names or anything, so.
No, but we might as well talk about the post where he saved us from all the zombies. Because he'd been working hard for the last 10 years. And there were millions of them. And he's been working hard at it for the last 10 years with Barack Obama.
I know. So we didn't even know Barack for 2 years before he was president.
This was in his Senate days.
was a secret zombie killer.
That's why he was a community organizer. He was rounding them up.
Yeah, that's the community he was organizing.
Oh my God. I hope he's not listening. It's very entertaining post.
I know.
And thank you for your service.
I like that people pander to him by thanking him for his service in the zombie apocalypse. What's a little concerning is he did state that they're only 99.9999999% eradicated. So
No.
what about that 0.0000001%?
What you're not telling people is they're completely 99.999.
Yes. Well, that's not completely now, is it?
Depends who
Was
you
there
ask.
like what is 0.000000001% of a zombie anyway? There's like one zombie sperm. You know, there's like a zombie toenail laying around them.
don't know. Maybe it's the zombie baby. It's just in utero somewhere. Yeah. I wish I had a music license. I'd play some Nirvana. Just this little backdrop. If you don't get why that's a reference, this might not be the podcast for you. Just if it's your first time listening. I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't want to discriminate. I don't know where I was going with that. Yeah. We could always go to my go-to with fuck all you people. Didn't I say that on one show where I didn't know what to say? And for some reason, I just turned on the audience.
I don't care about your judgment. Please donate $1 to my podcast.
I used to listen to this podcast. It was so funny because it was just some old man, and it was just him. He didn't have a co-host or anything. And he would just start talking about different things that he wanted to talk about. But he would start imagining what people were saying who were listening to the podcast and getting increasingly mad at them.
About these imaginary people.
And he's like, you guys don't have to get mad about it. It's just my opinion. Like, no one's getting mad, you stupid old fuck.
This is all in your head.
I don't even know if they're listening. Yeah. This is very odd. I never understood that. He would do it every single episode, like multiple times. He's like, don't have to get hot about it. There's no one there.
It's just you. You don't know that. There could be voices, you know.
You must be a pretty big asshole when all the people that you imagine in your head hate you too. You know, it looks like you'd have some kind of ego where you think they all love you or something, but no, not this guy. Everyone hates him, even in his imagination.
One of my friends, her brother got out of prison, and I met him for the first time, and I've been friends with her for a long time, but he'd been in prison for a long time. So, and when I met him, he was telling his sister about how he was in Speedway, and he got in a fight with this guy because he was, you know, looking at stuff in the freezer and like beer cooler or whatever, and the guy behind him was like coughing and clearing his throat, and he took offense to that, and yes, okay. And so they started having words. And then I couldn't really follow the lingo because he's fresh out of prison, so I don't really know what the hell he was saying. Mm-hmm. But from the gist of it, they went out to the parking lot, you know, and had a little scuffle. And I'm thinking, you know, when I'm at the store, if somebody clears their throat behind me, I don't think it has anything to do with me. Like, I just assume they have a scratchy throat or, you know, maybe a little sniffle that day. Like, maybe this explains why you were in prison.
What the fuck was that about, Katie?
Maybe this explains why you were in prison, because in your head, clear your throat is time to throw down in the parking lot because, you know, he was disrespecting him. I'm like, well, okay,
I don't know how show works where you're from, but when you cough in my house, I take that as a racial slur against Irish people. You need to get the fuck out.
Exactly. What are you saying? You got a potato stuck in there? You got a little leprechaun?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so you can understand how that mentality gets people in trouble. You're like, okay, I see why you were in prison for so long.
Yeah. Have you seen 60 Days In? Mm-hmm. I know I've talked about it on the show before. I don't want to... Well, it's been months
Jason,
since I
I've
talked
told
about
you,
it.
If it's not on Nickelodeon or Disney, if it's not Bob's Burgers, which is the new, like, as the kids have gotten older, like SpongeBob used to be the show that like made everybody happy, like everybody could enjoy SpongeBob, but now we've matured onto Bob's Burgers, and like that's the family show that we can all enjoy. So that's where we are in our life. But yeah.
Well, 60 Days In, they take, I forget how many people. But it's 3 girls and I think 6 guys. Some people might call that 9. I'm not so sure.
I'm not a fucking mathematician.
I'm not a math surgeon.
I don't have all the facts on this. I think it's 9, but I'll have to get some verification.
All this new math. Fucking liberals.
And all their math.
But they take these people who volunteer and they go to jail for 60 days and then they report back on like what could be done better. I mean, I love that show. It's fascinating. Yeah. So anybody out there listening, if you haven't seen it, you should check it out. It's I think season finale's this week. Good time to jump in.
Quick, see if you could get all the past episodes on your DVR.
You better hurry.
Last night, after everybody went to bed, like midnight, finally the house was quiet and I could watch what I want to watch, which is my ghost shows. And I watched the 2-hour Ghost Adventures like Halloween special. That was the scariest shit I have ever said. Watched a lot of ghost shows and I was like, holy fuck. That just freaked me the fuck out. But then I think about it later and I'm like, what was I afraid of? Them, you know, in the basement going, what was that? You know,
that happens a lot.
Yeah.
I think that's why I quit watching, because they would find like orbs and pictures and stuff, and it's probably just dust. But sometimes they do.
Actually, this episode was pretty good. I won't give it away, but it was actually like the freakiest. I'm not generally I'm like whatever. Like what I want to see is I want to see ghost pictures. I want to see shit moving. I want to hear clear voices. Like, don't give me the EVPs where they're like, brr, 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 brr. I think he said my mom is here. No, there was not. It was so yeah, but it was pretty good. But
I was going to get a ghost hunter to do the show. I haven't quite ironed everything out or talked to them yet.
Have you noticed a calming down since Dwight came, and has the curse been lifted?
Well, since the last 3 weeks, everyone's canceled.
So we're going to say no.
But it did seem to work for a while. I don't know. Maybe I switched lanes and accidentally ran over a small child.
I mean, the person who would be haunting this house would be your mom. So what are you doing that she's so pissed about? I mean, she really doesn't like this podcast. Why is that, Jason? What are you doing to piss your mom off about this podcast?
Well, she was a Christian lady, so maybe she doesn't like that aspect of it. Just sitting around cussing and smoking at her living room.
Yeah, smoking in her living room.
On that show.
Then do something about it, old lady.
You know what's funny? I had Mike Canistero on the show, and he was doing a character of Uncle Eon. And he asked, I forget what I said. I brought up my mom, and he asked if he could speak to her. I said, well, if you got a Ouija board, I guess. And after the show, Mike apologized. He was like, I didn't know your mom was dead.
Like, I'm all right with this.
I don't know why that was so funny to me. I don't know. Maybe it shouldn't be. I don't know. I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah, the old bitch is gone. See, I'm trying to provoke her. I learned that on Ghost Adventures.
No, Dwight was a good guest. I just, I should have prepared better.
Oh, yeah.
Because I had these 2 stories that I was going to go over. And one was about a lady who's, I think the kid was 4 or 5. She had a child that wanted a birthday cake of a cow giving birth. And she made him one with like afterbirth and everything.
Oh, wow. She went all the way.
Yeah. And then there was a couple who, for the last 50 or so years, have been wearing matching outfits. So I decided to make a segment of those 2 stories called, Is It Sweet or Psychotic? And in hindsight, asking a reverend to call someone psychotic and make fun of them might not have been the best thing to have on that particular show. Me and you, we could have ripped on that for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
A man of the Lord.
Yeah, cow cake, I'm going to say you could have gone more representational. You don't have to...
It could have been a little happier scene. I mean...
Baby showers where they'll have like actual baby cakes. I'm like, this is just so demented to cut into a baby and like serve out pieces, Like, I'm not real big on that.
You should have seen the picture of the cake. Like, I mean, it had like the afterbirth and everything. She made them out of Rice Krispies. She just colored them red. So this was spot on. Good job.
Is that what cow afterbirth looks like? I mean, I may be from Ohio, but I've never actually seen an animal give birth. So
it was just this pool of gunk. It was gross.
I hope my piece has extra gunk.
And there was just this cow's ass with a smiling calf
The calf is
coming out of it.
If you're going to be that graphic, then come on. That cow better be wrapped in afterbirth. You know? It's not smiling. Can't even fucking breathe yet. You know?
I call bullshit. The calf's not even out, and all this stuff's on the ground. You suck, lady.
If you're going to do that, you got to get it right, you know?
I know you want the kid to have what it wants for its birthday. And I guess she did try to talk him out of it, but he's really into nature shows. Mm-hmm. And whatever one of the nature shows is, it's this lady going around helping animals give birth. Like you said, I know you want the kid to be happy, but you might
just
have
makes me
cartooned
question,
it up a little bit.
Like the mom sitting there on the couch one morning with the kid and like, what can we watch? What can we watch? And we're like, nature show about animals giving birth. That'll be good for you.
Spectacular. Yeah. And now, whenever they look back at all the pictures from all the birthdays, there's always going to be this disturbing ass cake. I don't know.
But that's going to be the thing that the mom holds on to, you know, whenever the kid is a total asshole and be like, I made you the cake you wanted.
What's she going to do when he's like 13 and he's like, Mom, I want a cake of Katy Perry with her tits out. He's like, I don't know. He's like, but I want a cake with Katy Perry with her tits out. I guess I got to.
That's what he really wanted. I couldn't talk him out of it.
We've already set the precedent.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, would she feel better about that, or would he ask for a foot-long dog on his cake? But that's what I really want.
Mom, you don't understand. It's really important to me to have Leonardo getting raped by the bear from The Revenant. Yeah. But, Mom...
This is me.
And I know it's not historically accurate, but can you make Leonardo look like he enjoys it a little?
She can make a cow being birthed smile. She can certainly make Leonardo enjoy a bear raping. I mean, come on.
We don't need no format to this show.
No.
This has been fun. And it all started with some creeper on Twitter.
And it just gets creepier. I've never had a stalker. I have been recognized at the grocery, but it's always like, oh, you're Cece's mom. You know? So it's not really the same as like being famous. You know?
I felt bad because I show my wife because it just threw me. Mm-hmm. And you just... when something like that happens, you have to share it with somebody. Yeah. So I run in the living room. I'm like, look, this is weird. And then it hit me like the girl that liked it was really, really cute. And I thought, this might not be the best thing. I don't know. It should go either way where she's like, what the fuck's this pretty girl? You know? Yeah. Now she's stalking her.
You know, at this point, Andy and I have been together since I was 16. So, 22 years we've been together. And he talks about a girlfriend. I'm like, okay, but you're moving her in because you're not leaving me here with these fucking kids. So if that's what you got to do, then I hope she enjoys living in the basement.
She's at least got to do the dishes.
Yeah, exactly. You think you're just gonna walk away from here? Well, he wouldn't have any money, so I hope she's got a good job because all that shit comes to me and the 6 kids.
Like I said, Dwight. I should have prepared better. I kind of treated it like he was going to be any other guest except for with the other stuff. It's a comedy show. Mm-hmm. When I was listening back, there was a lot of religious references, which you may or may not have that when the guy's a preacher. During the blessing, I was listening and I'm like, man, there's already been a lot of sort of religious stuff sprinkled in. And with the blessing, it wasn't like 5 minutes, but it was a little lengthy. And I thought, I don't want people to listen and just think, I just don't want it to be overly religious for some people. So I was trying to think of, I don't know. You remember when you were younger, you would listen to the radio and it was just the DJ talking when you come back from break. And then as you got older, they started putting music behind it to spice it up a little bit. Well, I thought... Hey,
Let's spice up this blessing thing. It's kind of dry.
Why
It's
not?
a little bland with all the Jesus Christ and the Holy Ghost and bless this house, blah, blah, blah.
Why not? Add a little bit of heart music and some like
Art music.
angelic tones, some stuff, and we'll see how it goes. And it took me a while, and I found some background music. I asked him about it. He said, "Well, it's your show, but I don't think that might be put what I'm doing in the proper light." And I saw that, and I didn't put it in. But
Yeah.
I guess that's about it. For us. You got anything you want to talk about?
No.
That was a very spontaneous episode. There's some stuff I got to take out, but overall, it's probably maybe 30 minutes, and we were expecting 2, so
Yeah.
not bad. All right, guys, I hope you're having a good weekend. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening. Tell your friends about the show and leave a review. See you Monday.
Do you really think people are that fascinated by the picture of your fucking dinner? Nobody cares.